Hello guys, welcome to today's video. Very fun one. You guys always ask what commanders do I need at 511, 5511, everything, you name it, it's in there. It's in every comment. And I pay attention, I know I try to answer all of you guys, but let's go actually into it, right? We've got here an actual list. I'm gonna put all the heroes in their respective categories. I'm going to talk about them and actually showcase really good investment choices and bad investment choices and what certain heroes need to get cooking. So let's get into today's video. Hello guys, yes, smash a like, comment and subscribe for more daily videos with me, MrSneakyy, the one and only. And I'm going to be going over, honestly, all the heroes in the game, epics and legendaries. I'm going to try and give you a nice brief understanding of why I believe each of one of these deserving in what investment ranking on, how much you might just need just to get it going. This is more tailored to a low spender and a free-to-play player, just as a heads up. But if you are a spender, don't worry. I am going to obviously be giving you guys that info still on why certain heroes are way better when you start going up the chain, right? So I'm going to just break out, honestly, a lot of the quick heroes that we don't realistically need to discuss, and that is honestly going to be your Bakshi. I'm going to put this in the ignore category, as well as your Pan you can ignore. These are going to be basically your two heroes. I'm not going to lie, I just would not touch these two heroes, because Bakshi, you're going to get a better infantry hero, and honestly, Pan is just a healer for now. There's not really a support style meta for her, but there is other heroes that we can discuss, right? So let's talk about Alistar. Alistar is going to be a epic hero, and the thing is, when we look into actually Alistar as a hero himself, right, and his skills, he's got some decent skills. That's the funny thing, because his skills, if we bring them up for you guys, so you can see what I see, you'll notice, like, his skills, he has some okay skills. That's the funny thing. He has a really good area of effect rage skill. He also gives you some decent stats. But the problem is, he has this kind of rallying based skill we don't really care about. And this is an okay skill, again, that we like. And when we go into his overall effectiveness, when he's expertise, he's really good. That's the thing. I think with this hero, you're going to want this guy expertise. I wouldn't use him any other way. Expertise or no show, and you're going to be like, basically not using him. But when we're going into the next guy, we're in Alwyn. Alwyn is actually a great hero, because if we again go into Alwyn's kind of skills, you'll notice Alwyn compared to Alistar has basically really good skills for all of the different types of things he has. He deals great single target damage, he gives you great stats, and he also applies amazing debuffs to the enemy, right? So when we go and we minimize this and make sure you guys can obviously see what we see, we now can obviously place Alwyn into a category. And the thing is, Alwyn, I think at minimal 5511 is going to be starting to cook. And the same thing is with your Waldir. Waldir, Alwyn, honestly, when you start the game, 5511, you can start using these guys and you're going to start pumping them up, right? This is just in the epic category, guys, right? Where I'm talking about investments. When we go into someone like Craig as an epic hero definitely needs to be 5551 before you start using this hero. Why? Because when we go and open Craig has arguably one of the easiest skill allocations in the game, because obviously you need to max out the first skill so you get all of that area of effect damage, really good. But then his next skill is amazing. It gives you march speed bonus, which you really care about, and even 10% hero skill damage bonus, which is beautiful. When the third skill is obviously comprised of only flying units, you get that 10% defense bonus, but you do get a 10% extra attack bonus as well. So you get basically all what you need in these three, and you can ignore bloody building frenzy, right, for the longest time. And then over time, you will get this hero awakened. And obviously when he's awakened, he is a different animal altogether, right? So definitely at 555-1, I would start using this guy mainly, and then obviously when you whack him into this little category, you're going to be holding on to him. Your Eliana, honestly, I'm not going to lie, guys, Eliana at 5111, you're going to start using straight away, and you will honestly crack her all the way up to 555. Why? Because she is one hero that you get really, really quickly. When we go into Atheist as well, I'm going to talk about Atheist as a 555-1 hero for the same reasons as we go into this Craig that we've got on screen here, because with Atheist and Craig, they're basically pretty similar when we're talking about what we care about. We do get a nice damage single target factor, we get the rage generation, and here we get some nice stats to our match, which obviously gets even more better when we go down the next route and hit the expertise, right? But when we go and pull this out and we minimize it, you can see all of this direction, you'll notice how easy this you know, epic style of investments is. These are basically now with Guan Win, you can use Guan Win from 5111 all the way going up to Awaken, obviously. Then you're going to be cooking, because why? She's going to be dealing a ton of behemoth damage for you guys, right? And that pretty much, I'm not going to lie, sums up the epics, right? If you've got these epics in any of this category right now, take a screenshot of it, because I really don't want to go over this in the comment section, because what I'm going to be suggesting is, obviously, if I put a legendary hero into one of these categories that I'm going to be discussing, and even the ones below, because there's a couple of extras, if you see one of these heroes, legendary-wise, in one of these categories, guys, you can pair them up with your epic hero if you do not own a legendary hero in the same category when we're talking about certain pairings, right? So just want to make that clear for you guys. Don't stress about it, right? Because that one, I'm telling you, within 2, maybe 3 seasons, all of your epics are going to be awakened. All of them will be awakened. So it's going to be down to even the ones you don't care about. They're all going to be awakened. So it's going to be down to which epics you want to use with these legendary investments, right? So I hope that makes clear. So let's remove all of these guys. And now let's talk about legendaries, because this is the one where everyone, I think, is obviously more inclined into looking, right? So if you needed that epic section, it's all out of the way. Now let's get into the nitty-gritty stuff, which is the actual heroes, right? Now, Bakshi. Bakshi is going to be the first hero on the list, and I'm actually going to put him as a 5111 hero. Insane. Actually, a really good hero at 51111, and I've been using Bakshi from the beginning of the game as a 511 hero, and he is phenomenal. The reason is when we go into game and we, you know, start to bring up the hero skills, he has some great skills apart from his skill 2, which is a peacekeeping based skill. But for a gold key commander that you can earn, you're getting 1400 damage factor, increasing your own 20% HP bonus, which is great. You also get a 10% HP bonus through this stat, as well as attack bonus. And more importantly, the third skill granting you basically a roulette wheel of either attack defense bonuses, rage accumulation speed, and healing factor. This hero honestly has been one of the best heroes that even at 5111 and then going all the way up to 5555 Awaken is one of the best cavalry heroes to be using right now, still to this day. He honestly, some people kind of give him that Saladin-esque feel where it's a tanky based cavalry commander, and I kind of see it, even though he's not obviously got the same flavor or, you know, skill set up as your Saladin. He does feel like it. He feels like that bruiser style, you know, cavalry based hero. So 5011, that's what I'm going to suggest if you're going to have this guy rocking at him. Now I'm going to do 2 heroes at once, because they are the 2 newest heroes kind of in the game, and I'm not talking about Toha and Bertrand, because I'm going to talk about those guys right at the very end of this video. But I am talking about Goresh and Skogul. So, Skogul is the easy one to place first. I honestly think 5511 on this hero is honestly good enough if you're an infantry player that you want to just use this without honestly investing too many of your sculptures, because you guys know from maybe one of my other videos you've watched, I played the game over 499 days. Now I'm technically I'm on 500 days, but At 490 plus days, I only earn 790 sculptures, basically, for my account, meaning I could expertise one hero and have 100 basically left over to start working on the next hero. So if I can actually get a hero like Skogul at 5511, it's a really good investment because it means I can actually invest into this hero, I can use her, and she's actually going to perform pretty decent compared to some of the other options, right? Goresh though, Goresh is a bit more of a investment, but I will admit a minimal investment and the best investment is 5551 on Goresh. You need this in your kit. I'm not gonna lie, 5511 was okay. I had it at 5511, I tested it, it's okay. But as soon as you get that triple 5 and 1, the hero becomes in his own. He literally does become his own hero, and you see how much damage this guy can pump out. And again, for only 5551, and you don't need to awaken this hero, you've got such an amazing infantry, bruiser style, high DPS, high tank hero that you can actually put into the battlefield, right? So if you are looking as an infantry player, you might consider Goresh, right? And this is, again, your personal opinion. I'm just saying here, if you are looking at these heroes, this is the minimal that you're going to be wanting to invest into these heroes, right? Now we're going to go into Emrys. Emrys is the other cavalry hero through the gold keys. And the thing is with Emrys, personally, I do believe Emrys needs to be 5-5-1-1 in order to be used at the beginning of the game. The reason is when we look at, obviously we're comparing him to Bakshi now, Emrys is really good with the single target nuke, but it has nothing really to it. And the thing is, when you maximize this second skill to 5, you get a 40% rage accumulation speed, and that is very key to this hero. It allows him to rage cycle as a primary or a deputy for any cavalry heroes in the game. So having a 5-5-1-1 Emrys on the battlefield, or if you own it, is good enough. I'm telling you, you're going to be using this and you'll be rocking and killing troops. Obviously, afterwards, you want to obviously keep investing into the hero and awaken this guy, because when you awaken Emrys, he does become a new league of his own. But that's not what this video is about. This video is about the minimal, right? What is the minimal requirement in order to get this hero cooking, right? So that's Emrys. I hope that helps you guys out. Let's minimize that and go on to the next quick, easy explain, and that is Ffraegar. And Ffraegar is going to be a hard one, I'm not going to lie, because Ffraegar is honestly a fantastic hero. Especially when you look at the skills, she is amazing in this game. And the thing is, with Ffraegar, I'm going to now start to showcase a couple of the other skill investments that you could potentially be running on her, right? Because when you, again, compare her now to other heroes, she is all damage based, basically, apart from this 4th skill, which is all kind of utility about rage accumulation speed reductions and march speed bonus reductions against them, right? Really, really cool little thing, right? But if you only care about damage, I'm not going to lie, a 5-1-5-1 is good enough. And if you can even roll a 5-5-1-1, you're going to be in the same boat. And it's kind of a weird thing with Ffraegar. And if you really can, or if you really wanted to get the maximum damage without investing realistically into this Falconeer PvP utility skill, you would go down to 5-5-5-1 on her, right? And that is kind of the thing with Ffraegar. She is one of the most flexible heroes in my eyes when it comes to investing, because again, I can put her in a 5-1-1 situation and she honestly does some really good stats. If I put her as a 5-5-1-1 minimal hero, again, she's really good and she's giving you a lot of value in this. And if we go into 5-5-1, you are definitely, like I said, gaining the maximum value out of all of her damage steroids, but you lose out on that PvP. So it is up to you. I'm going to actually leave her in the 5-5-1-1 category, because I do think if you get a 5-5-1-1, it's actually enough, because you will get the normal attack damage bonus. Yes, you will miss out on the critical chance or the critical damage bonus that you're gonna get for free through this. But I'm telling you, you will get that over time. We're talking about the minimal. What is the minimal? And you're gonna get some positive trades, or it might feel good. And to me, 5511 on my Ffraegar feels really good. That's when you start to get really good results and you start to see those reports feel a little bit better than just a 51111 Ffraegar. So now we are on Forondil, and Forondil is another great commander like Bakshi, where if we look at him, I'm not going to lie, this hero 51111 is insane. You can get so much value without even investing into this hero because how powerful Cowardice is, plus obviously his skill 3, allowing him to be a hero or deputy, and depending on that changes the rage accumulation speed or the damage dealt to the target, right? So really good hero that you can place into here for the cavalry. So now what we're going to discuss, I'm going to try and take a pause. We're going to talk about quickly the VIP heroes and why I'm going to discuss these two heroes in the middle of the video, and then we'll continue with everything else, which is more towards the low spenders and free-to-play players. So, the VIP heroes we do get is Lilia and it is Hosk. So, the one thing with these two VIP heroes that I am going to be brutally honest with you, and if anyone tries to disagree, there I'm not going to lie, just in denial and the drinking copium. Hosk needs to be expertised, I'm telling you. 5111 on this hero doesn't feel good. And even if he was willing to be a madman, and if we scrolled down here and tried to roll this guy into a 5155 hero, I believe, so you skip the rallying / stronghold ability for him, he still is not worth it. He has to be expertise because you want all of the stat buffs plus his awakening stage, which is giving him that counter-attack crit bonus and crit rate through his awakening. Very key. Lilia though, Lilia is a different animal. And the thing is with Lilia, she honestly has 2 investments. And I'm not going to lie, 51111 is easy mode. 5111, you're going to get everything that you're going to need for her in a very low $20 investment. I'm not going to lie, $20 and you've got everything you need. But you will notice once you get out of Season 1, maybe out of Season 2, and you're in maybe Season 2 plus, or you've done Season T1 now, you will feel your Lilia starting to get outperformed by players that have a stronger Lilia. And that is kind of the thing. Your Lilia will be 5111. You will be fine. But honestly, you will be wanting to awaken this hero. Awakening Lilia is too valuable for a player, especially in PvP with mages. You get that double 1600 nuke, plus the Scorch triggers, plus everything else on top. It's kind of crazy, right? So definitely, both of these heroes are 5555 heroes. And I thought I'd just cover this right now before we go any further into talking about any of the normal gold key heroes, lucky spin heroes, or heroes you earn through the strongest lord. Hope you guys have been enjoying the video so far. I know it's been a nice, easy kind of follow through, nothing too serious, but at the same time giving you that nice in-depth information that you guys need. So let's carry on with today's video, and we're going into the main boy, the one of the most favorite heroes in the game, as you can imagine, and that is Garwood. Garwood is here, and you're probably wondering where we're gonna actually rank this boy. And I'm not gonna lie, for a very early investment, you can start using this guy straight away, especially as a free-to-play player and obviously low spenders from 5111. He's gonna be your main tank. He's gonna be used in your merit store. But if you are honestly trying to think of what is the best way of unlocking his skills or trying to get him, I will showcase, if we just scroll down, 5155, literally 5155 is the best way we're gonna have this guy kitted out. because we don't really care about that second skill. Second skill is all about stronghold and obviously garrisoning. Maybe over time, obviously when you get that gold key commander, you know, completed, because he is a gold key commander, you're gonna get this, right? So don't worry. Honestly, if you get Garwood 5111, you're gonna be cooking straight away. So I am gonna put him in here. He's a really good hero at just 5111. You will be surprised. But the next hero I am gonna talk about, and she is deserving of a spot still, is Indis. Indis at 5155. Yes, this is the one hero in the game you can actually use, and people are starting to come around to it. And just to admit, she's good. She's just good, because there's a lot of stuff here that a T4 player especially really likes against T5s, because counterattack damage is nasty. Guess what? 50% of that is removed. We also get the beauty of having the 20% infirm trigger, and this is obviously for 2 seconds, but when we awaken her after that 5155, guess what? It goes all the way up to 3 seconds, which is beautiful on 2 targets. It means we are actually helping our team and technically maybe winning the trade, you know, for our murder ball. So really powerful hero. I think this is underrated. I think maybe in the future, you know, editions, we're going to start seeing Indis more being used as an actual support march, where players might have 2 or 3 marches which are fully kitted out, you know, maybe 2 mages and an archer, 2 archers and a mage, and then they bring out an Indis in some form of way, you know, with maybe a future hero. So honestly, even to this day, she's going to be used 5155. You'd be surprised how good she is in most combos, even as a cavalry deputy, infantry deputy. She's really good. So Indis definitely worth a spot I'm talking about. So she's in the 51115 spot. So now we have Madeline, I think. So Madeline, the one and only. So Madeline definitely is a hero where she is honestly really good at 511 again. She's really good early on. But personally, I'm not gonna lie, I think you can get away with saying, like, this is the one hero in the game, especially with the next hero that I'm going to talk about, where these 2 heroes honestly can go up into any category and they're really good. Meaning, at 5111, you get everything you can need for Madeline at the start, and then the more you invest into her, and she's a 5511 hero, it's really good, because if we look at Madeline's actual skills here, her second skill is going to give you that physical damage dealt bonus and capacity, which is really important for infantry players too. And then, like I said, if you go into a 5551, so now we lowered this and we put a upper rank, you know, this means, you know, you need to make a 5551, which I don't believe, because even then, you know, when we do get her up to 5551, this passive skill is going to give you all the counter attack damage bonus and HP bonus. And the 4th skill, honestly, is just some nice area of effect damage. It's nothing too crazy compared to these first 3 skills being the best 3 skills in her kit. But the amazing part about Madeline, and everyone will agree, is honestly when you awaken her, awakening this hero is insane, because she will get a resistance trigger of 10% for 4 seconds. So this is very tanky, man. She becomes really basically a super tank when she becomes a awakened hero, and she's already a really fantastic tank. So if you're wondering where you need to place her, she can be placed honestly at the bare minimal at 5111, and you're going to be cooking this hero and you're going to be good. But just know, no matter what, you can put this hero in any of these categories and she's going to be fantastic, right? So the thing is, like, I think as I'm trying to make this video, you know, the best of the best, you know, trying to get this hero. So if you are, you know, minimal investing, what do you need to make the hero work? Honestly, with Madeline, you can go 5111. If we really want her to be, you know, super lenient and we're going to get a bit more focused, I will put her in the 5551, because like I say, 5551, you cannot go wrong with this hero, and you don't really need to go for that super awakening if you're maybe a free-to-play low spender, because you're going to get maximum benefits already out of it, and all you're gaining is that little bit of damage and that 10% resistance trigger on your shield, obviously, when you're awaken, alright? So the next hero, though, that we're going to be going in as you can imagine, similar to this is Kinnara. And Kinnara is a fantastic hero at 5111 again. You're going to see when we go into all of her skills, Kinnara is one of those heroes that when we look in, she has phenomenal skills. An amazing skill 1 and why at 5111 she's great. 1400 damage nuke, and she reduces the target's damage output by 15%. And I'm not gonna lie, I lose to so many duels because of this, right? And then on top of this, you will get a 10% normal attack damage and obviously 4% hero skill damage taken reduction, 10% extra attack, and on top of this, 10% extra physical counter-attack damage bonus against the target, and that 10% march speed reduction on a debuff. So you get so much out of this hero at 5111, which is great. And if you really want to get maybe the maximum, you know, I would say bang for your buck, if you want to say that, without investing too hard, I honestly do think just a 5511 Kinnara, without going too crazy, is such a worthwhile investment in the game. But you need to remember, Kinnara is, and I'm not going to say this, you know, lightheartedly, she is like I say, Madeline in this regards, where if we compare her, you can make this hero 5511, you can make this 555 or Awaken, and she's amazing in this game, right? But this isn't what I'm talking about. I'm talking about how good or what you might need to get this hero cooking. The thing is, with Kinnara, honestly, I'm going to put in that 5511 category. I think as long as you get her with these set of skills, you'd be surprised on how much tankiness and obviously damage you're putting out with your Kinnara until you awaken her. Because again, when you awaken this hero, that is when you will do some insane damage to obviously your opponent. So I hope you guys follow through with that and understand where we're going with this video still so far. So now when we break it down, we'll go into Nico. And Nico, I'm gonna be harsh with. I'm not gonna lie, and I'll be brutally honest with Nico. I honestly believe he needs to be awakened. That is the conclusion I'm coming to, because the thing is with Syndrion and Ffraegar and Kinnara, what you'll see at such a very small investment, even at 5111, these heroes just outperform a 5111 Nico. However, when we look at Nico as well, and we're not gonna just, you know, be that guy that, you know, just says no, we're not gonna like Nico on this channel, because to be honest, Nico was one of my favorite heroes in the game. But when we look at this guy, the reason why we're talking about the awakening of Nico in particular is, yes, he has a great skill 1 and this 15% defense reduction, really good. The problem is this engineering skill doesn't benefit him in the long term of the game, when most commanders later on in the life cycle will have 4 skills which are all PvP related. This is an okay skill. Pretty great stats, 30%, you can't go wrong with it. And then again, additional 40% worth of stats here when you're casting your raid skills. Really powerful when you are in combat. But the thing is, it's more about this awakening. This is what makes him amazing, because if a target has a defense break, you're going to be dealing an additional 200 damage with an 8% chance trigger. This is easy, especially when Nico can trigger him himself. And as we was kind of hinting on earlier with Kinnara, when you get this awakened Kinnara, you have a inbuilt defense break. So it just showcases the power of these two heroes together still when they're awakened. But this is only when they're awakened, which I kind of find a bit of a harsh, you know, statement to say. And I'm going to put Nico, honestly, in that category. I think Nico, honestly, needs to be awakened. I've tried him, and I'm an archer main, and I'm not going to lie, I've tried him at 5115. I've got him at 5255, you know? We've got the most optimal setup, but I just lose so easily because I don't have that awakening advantage compared to all the other players. So honestly, I feel Nico, out of most of them, needs to be awakened. So just make sure you remember that. Nika. Well, Nika is going to be the first one that I'm going to put, sadly, in the ignore list. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to actually suggest just ignore Nika. She is... I'm playing infantry right now. And the thing is with Nika at 5111, you don't really get anything out of her. Even at like 55111, you don't get anything out of her because again, she is mainly there for like peacekeeping. But if you for some reason made her 5115, some people could argue that is good for very, very niche comps. And what we're talking about when we mean niche comps, and this again is a shout out to some of the cavalry players. Don't remember, you know, I'm here. I haven't forgotten about you at all in the cavalry gang. But a lot of players in the Cavs do use Nika, and it sounds crazy, I know, but Emrys with Nika is a very insanely powerful combo, especially when you're getting this hero skill damage dealt bonus, plus the damage dealt bonus to surrounded targets. And when you look at Nika's 5th skill, she does the same thing with hero skill damage bonus, so she just basically lets you nuke them, as well as having a 1500 damage nuke on top and a 30% HP reduction. So this is kind of like an off-meta pick, but people do pick it. That is the thing. I'm not going to just throw her out of the window, but I will say that, though, you know, as just like a little honorable mention. But personally, I'm going to be brutal, and I'm going to say with Nika, I would honestly ignore the hero. Maybe when she's awakened, it's going to be a different story again, but this is not going to be a hero that you are waiting to get 5155 or 5115. You know what I'm saying? She's not going to be one of those heroes that you are honestly waiting for compared to one of these higher heroes definitely in this list here, right? So then we got Syndrion, and Syndrion's in the same boat, honestly, as these heroes down here. I don't even care what anyone... Everyone will admit a 5111 Syndrion is just absurd. It's probably the best hero investment in the entire game right now. Why? Because at 5111, when we look at the Boy Wonder Syndrion, you get so much single target DPS, it's actually unreal. When we look at his first skill, you're going to get that 7-second duration on rapid fire, which means you get to fire 2 additional attacks, plus increasing your attack by 20%, meaning you hit even harder during that time. So that means in 7 seconds, you're getting basically 14 attacks off, which is really, really good. And then the cool thing is you have obviously this nice little crit rate bonus built into your kit, which is okay. Obviously having 5% HP is obviously nothing too crazy, but it's nice. But what is powerful about having a 5111 Syndrion is the 4th skill. The fact that you start combat even just for 1 turn. 1 turn, you get 10% extra attack, and you get rapid fire, meaning you get to do 2 auto attacks instantly at the start of the combat, which is crazy when it comes into damage, right? Especially for archer damage, really, really crazy. And the thing is, when you do get a Syndrion, the really, really amazing thing about this hero that we're going to now kind of, you know, showcase on this tree is at 5111, you have everything you need to get cooking, and you are going to be dished out as much damage as you want. The beautiful thing about this hero is you can get him, if you're really, really lucky, 5115. And honestly, if you get him 5115 and use all your retrain bucks to try and do this, and you didn't, you know, and you managed to do it, you're going to get the best value out of him without actually investing anything else, because you as a free-to-play player, low spender, is getting so much out of him, right? But if you are wanting to invest into the hero, most players will recommend getting him to at least 5155 for all of the stats. But if you are a true Chad and you've got the ability to, again, awakening this hero is great, because awakening the hero is going to give you that 400 damage factor for you, right? And that is just amazing when it comes into, again, dealing damage and for single target burst in this game, right? So that Syndrion makes sense to you guys, right? The best thing for this guy, definitely, I'm going to keep him in the 5111 because that's what you need to start using him, and you're going to be cooking. So now we have Theia. And Theia is a very weird one for myself, because I think Theia is in the 5551 category still. And the reason why I'm saying that is because when we look at all of Theia's stats, the power stat about her is that 3rd skill. So she obviously gives shield, hero skill damage in the 1st skill, which is great. But the attack and bonus and the hero skill damage reduction is great in the 2nd, but it's when you're using flying units, you're gaining in total over 50% worth of stats. That's including defense, attack, and march speed bonus. And that is all loaded within the first 3 skills. And the 4th skill, like I said, you don't really need this skill, because this skill is when you're in combat and you gain a shield. That's when you're going to get an attack bonus, and this will stack up to a maximum, right? So it'll go from 5%, 10%, 15% for an example. So you don't really need this to get cooking. The first 3 skills, honestly, are insanely valuable for her. But when you do actually awaken Theia, as you guys know, Theia becomes a really great hero for a lot of reasons. You can do a lot of stuff like Theia and Lilia, and then that means you can run a Waldia and Velyn, and both of your mage marchers are getting shielded, meaning they're getting that hero skill damage bonus from Theia, which is a really, really cool synergy for mages, right? So it does show she's good, she has a place, but personally, I think if you want to get her working really, really well, 551 is the way. Some people might say, you know, 5511 is the way to go. Also, I could see that. I can see that, but personally, that 3rd skill is insane. So that's why I'm going to keep her in this 551. And I've got the last 2 guys, and I'm not going to lie, with Theodore, for free-to-play and low spenders, I'm going to say ignore. Because unless you're really a cav specialist, honestly, if you're a cav spec, you're going to try and unlock him, you're going to get him through the daily deals, that is on you, right? But if you're just a normal player like me and you're just trying to look for heroes to invest into and try and get them into a reasonable spot without going too crazy and investing too hard into a hero, then honestly, Theodore, you just skip, because he's okay at 51111, but he's nothing too special. I feel like this hero honestly wants to get invested into to get the maximum out of him, and he's just not worth your time, I'm going to be honest. So that's the harsh reality. Someone might, you know, disagree. Put your comments below if you like Theodore and tell me why. But personally, as a free-to-play player, low spender, I think Theodore is just one, again, like Nika, you just really don't need. And there's better opportunities already on all of these heroes above that you could go for, right? So the final hero we're going to talk about is Velyn. And for me, Velyn needs to be 5511. Some people might say 5111 is really good. Yes, as soon as you get a 51111 Velyn, I will tell you, you will be using this behind your Waldia when it's awakened straight away, because it's a really good synergistic combo. But if you want to use Velyn as his own commander, so maybe like a Velyn Atheist, Velyn Alwyn, Velyn Theia, Velyn Lilia, you name it, right? If you want Velyn primary in any of those cases, I'm going to suggest a 5511 hero. Why? Pretty simple again. We're making things nice and simple in this video, as we always try and do. The 2nd skill is just such a great payoff. I'm not going to lie. Mages really, really, really lack march speed, and they really, really like hero skill damage. And the fact that in this we get obviously 1200 damage factor, we make the enemies do 20% less march speed, which is great. We get 20% extra bonus march speed, meaning we ourselves always can get in and out of battles, which is really, really, really key in PvP, as well as being just 15% extra flat damage. So having just these 2 honestly unlocked, you'd be surprised on how strong this hero is. And then with a 1-1, you've got the 10% magic reduction and 10% march speed reduction. You have that 4% crit bonus and 5% defense bonus already. So gaining those stats over time is fine, because as you see, it's very small increments on these skills. You're going from 10% to 20% in here, compared to going on this skill when you get just so much more stats for it, and stats that you care about more importantly, right? So honestly, I do think a 5511 Velyn is the way to go, and that pretty much sums it up. That is all the legendary heroes, and before we've done all the epic heroes. So if you're looking at this list now, this is what I am just going to be recommending to you guys. Make sure you get your heroes to at least this, so you can see them at like 5511, and you'll be happy with that, right? And then if you are trying to work on specific heroes, you will work on those heroes and awaken them, right? I am going to make a different video that is on, obviously, who I would personally try to awaken first, and obviously go through that order. And also, I'm going to be making a video on who I personally believe that if we go into the game, who you, if you are a spender, for example, who you should be spending, obviously, your hard-earned money on the daily bundles, right? So these daily bundles are here. Some of these are gold key commanders, some are strongest lord commanders, and some are obviously lucky wheel commanders. So I'm going to make a tier list also on this, on which are the best heroes I think you should invest into early, and then going, you know, from there and moving forward. But that pretty much is it, guys. I hope you have enjoyed today's video. It's been a very long one. I know it's been a special one, but here is the final list for you guys without me on screen. You can see here the 5/5/5/5 heroes, the 5/5/5/1 heroes, the 5/5/1/1 heroes, and finally the 5/1/1 heroes, and the 2 to ignore out of all of the lineups, right? And these are what I am going to suggest. Like, if you have any of these heroes at this marker, honestly, you can start using them. You'd be surprised on how strong these guys are, especially if you've got them in combination together. Just as an example, you could have a 5/1/1 Bakshi with a 5/5/1/1 Emrys, and you'd be laughing at how strong this actual match is for your comp, right? So I hope you guys have enjoyed it. That has been me, MrSneakyy, here as in the flesh, like always. If you liked this video, smash like, comment, and subscribe. And until the next one, stay safe, stay sneaky. Peace out.